The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network. And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a brand new Tuesday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by those good friends that we always see up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we continue to do that today because we have a great player profile to feature on today's episode. It is from Boardman. It is on the volleyball court. Macy Kaufman, a great, versatile hitter that can really hit from anywhere. We'll talk a little bit more about her and what makes her special and her player profile a little bit later on the show. So we have that for you. And then, of course, on Running Point every day, we kind of recap the night that was. We go into yesterday, see what happened yesterday, and we preview the night that is. So that's what's on today's show. Going to have some fun. Going to start by hopping into the scoreboard on YSNLive.com, brought to you by another good friend, another great sponsor. Going to pop them up right here on your screen. Oop, got to scroll up. Got to find the sponsor first. Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs, the proud sponsor of Running Point. The YSN scoreboard is a great and easy tool for our YSN fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts, or maybe even both, because we would love that. Bring your iPad to the game with you, pull up another broadcast. Why not, right? But either way, you don't want to look away from the action or the screen for too long. And the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy way to get live updated scores to you across the YSN family, whether they are they are your best friends or your heated rivals. Either way, you can find out what they're doing on the YSN scoreboard. It can be found at ysnlive.com/scores, and it is proudly presented again by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Let's dive into last night's scores. We will start with volleyball, a big old school rivalry between Lakeview and Jefferson. We had a lot of milestones last night. This is the first one as Reagan Price gets her 1,000th career kill in this win over Jefferson. 3-0, the final score. Lakeview still rolling strong. Going to Edgewood last year, Edgewood came into town, went to South Range, and got beat by South Range. This year, revenge on their mind. They beat the Raiders up in Ashtabula County, 3-1, the final score there, Edgewood with the victory. Pymatuning Valley with a 3-0 win over Bristol, so the Lakers are still rolling. We have Beaver Local. Their volleyball team was able to get the win over St. Clairsville, 3-0, a sweep for the Beavers, who are climbing those power rankings. They keep beating big teams that are also good as far as their win-loss record. So you keep seeing Beaver Local climb. And you're going to keep seeing them climb if they keep playing like that. Campbell Memorial goes on the road, beats Poland 3-1. Poland got a big set win after falling behind. So props to the Bulldogs for fighting, but Campbell was able to pull it out 3-1. Maybe one of the big upsets of not just the night, but the season in volleyball, as Hubbard gets the win over Canfield 3-1. That is big news for Hubbard. One, it's going to be huge for them in the power rankings. Once again, meaningless, but fun. But it's also just going to be huge for team confidence. They're going into the second stretch of the 88 starting tonight where they'll host South Range, and they're going to have a lot of confidence going into that second half of league play after beating a very, very good Canfield team in 4 sets. All the sets were close, and that last one got a little dicey for Hubbard, but they were able to pull it out in the last minutes to get the 4-set victory. That one might have gone the other way if it goes 5. It just felt like Canfield starting to turn around. I think Coach Nesbitt would probably tell you, even though they won a set, that 4th set was maybe the best set they played. They were starting to really find a rhythm. So if they win that 4th set, you never know what happens in the 5th. So Hubbard did a really good job locking it down, making sure it doesn't go 5, and getting that 4-set victory over Canfield. It's so hard to get big upsets in volleyball because it's not just you have to be better than them one set or one play or whatever it may be. You have to be better than them in 3 sets out of 5. That's always hard to do. So we don't see a lot of huge upsets in volleyball, but we saw one last night. Hubbard gets the big win at home, inside the nest, Battle of the Birds. Cardinal Mooney went to Crestview. This is another milestone that we had on the network. Crestview gets the win 3-0. The big storyline is Abby Emch is now your all-time kills leader at Crestview. 1,285 kills right now is where she's sitting. The record was 1,282. That was broken by Grace Hour last year. So back-to-back seasons, back-to-back record breakers for career kills. And Abby Emch will climb that ladder and make that even harder to get to because she's got exactly half of the season left. They've played 11 games. So she has 11 more games plus tournaments to get as many kills as she possibly can to make that record as unobtainable as possible. Now, I do want to say, I was talking about this with my mom on the ride home, and it's really something to put in perspective because I want people to understand how awesome Grace Hour was in her career at Crestview. And I don't want this record being broken to be like, well, let's like throw her into the land of forgetfulness. Because remember that Grace Hour spent half the rotation setting. She was a 6-2 setter. So although she was an outside hitter in the front row when she was up there, a great one, she also set for Crestview in the back row. That was about half of the game, half of every match, half of the rotations where she didn't get attacks. Because as a back row setter, you're not going to be able to attack past the 10-foot line. You're in the back row, you can't do it. So Grace Hour had 1,282 with half of the rotation she played as a setter. So that just makes that even more incredible that she was able to get to that point. But Abby Emch breaks it, and it is going to be her at the top of that record book. Now, that is the 6th record that Abby Emch has. She has every block record in Crestview, and now every kill record in Crestview. Kills in a match, kills in a season, kills in a career, blocks in a match, blocks in a season, blocks in a career. All gotten taken care of for Abby Emch. 6 records being held by her in Crestview volleyball. No shocker there. I think no one would argue that she is the best volleyball player to come out of Crestview. Easy. And she's going to go play for number 1 team in the country after she's done at Crestview for a pretty good reason. Bristol, I'm sorry, I saw the Bristol logo up there. East, my bad, goes to Ursuline, and Ursuline gets the Steel Valley Conference win in straight sets 3-0 over the Bears. Heartland Christian gets the win over East Palestine in straight sets. They had an awesome celebration that we just shared on our Facebook page a little bit ago, celebrating Maddie Neville for Bear Brothers Big Dog of the Valley winner in week 3. We say congratulations to that as well. We know how proud of a community Heartland Christian is, and we know whenever one of those players, whether it be volleyball or in the winter sports for hoops, whenever they get on to that list, it's going to be a lot of votes. That community is very proud, and they had a big celebration for Maddie, who is having a really good year. That is the 10th win of the season for Heartland Christian. They are 10-3. Archbishop Hoban, they're undefeated. They get another win over the Kinston Bombers. Straight sets, no problems for Hoban. They really haven't been pushed yet this year, and they've played really good teams. So Hoban looking really, really good. JFK gets the straight set victory over Liberty 3-0. McDonald gets the straight set victory over Columbiana. This one was billed as a very good matchup. It was supposed to be very competitive, 10-0 both sides. McDonald had other plans. Let's look at these set scores real quick and talk about what went on in McDonald last night as the Blue Devils absolutely flexed their muscles a little bit. Set scores for this 25-22, 25-15, 25-18. So only once did Columbiana get in the 20s. McDonald really played extremely well, and it was because they were led by Gianna Costantino, 13 kills, 11 digs, double-double for her. And those 13 kills were enough to give her 1,000 in her career. So another milestone falls last night for McDonald this time, and she gets 1,000 kills. You'll look at the rest of the offense, though, very balanced. Audrey Evans had 9 kills. You saw Haley Coons have 8 kills for the Blue Devils as well. So you had 3 players really chipping in there. A big night for Miley Titus with 23 digs on the night. She also had 4 aces. And then Setting, who I think has been a very underappreciated member of this McDonald team because of how well she has stepped into the setting position. Ava Salomon gets 29 assists in that one ace, 9 digs, so just that one dig shy of a double-double. You lose Megan Klockner, who was a elite setter a year ago. You lose her graduating. A lot of people probably thought McDonald's offense would take a step down. Maybe they wouldn't be as good this year. Ava Salomon raises her hand, says, I'm right here. I got you covered. She was kind of like a middle blocker, I believe, last year in one rotation of the front row, sharing that job with Sierra Shiley. So she's a tall setter, especially for this level of high school volleyball. Not like she's a 6'3" setter like you see in college, but for high school volleyball in Division, what's McDonald? I think Division 6. For that level of volleyball, Ava Salomon is a very tall setter. You're not going to find a lot of setters in that division, especially locally, that have a setter that's as tall as her, which is a big advantage. It's a big advantage to be a tall setter because you can get your balls to your hitters a lot faster. Those sets can be right along the net pretty easily. So I really like what I'm seeing from McDonald. 11-0 now on the season. That was a big win at a conference to give them momentum. Columbiana, it's a non-conference game. It shows you where you're at, and you still have the whole conference in front of you. So it sucks. You always want to be undefeated, but at the same time, got to keep things in perspective a little bit. Everything's still right in front of Columbiana. Tough one for Louisville. They fall to New Philadelphia 3-2. The final score there. Lisbon gets the 3-2 victory over Toronto, a thriller in Lisbon. East Liverpool, they get the 5-set win over Union Local. Let's go. This is a huge win for the Potters. They're rolling. Now, we talked about power rankings before, right? With how big that win was for Hubbard in the power rankings. Once again, power rankings just for fun conversation, nothing bearing to them. But that's a huge win for the Potters when it comes to power rankings. They are going to make a big jump. A state powerhouse comes into East Liverpool and falls in 5. What a good job by the Potters. Southern gets the win 3-0 over Valley Christian. We see that Warren Harding was not enough for Western Reserve. They got the win 3-0. The Western Reserve Blue Devils did on the road. Lakeside falls to Akron Eastlake North 3-0. Latonia falls to Malvern 3-0. Another milestone falls, this time in Springfield, as it is a 3-0 victory for the Tigers over Brookfield. The Tigers senior setter Kerrigan Mullen with her 1,000th career assist. So we had an assist milestone, 3 kill milestones last night. It was Milestone Monday, I guess, on the volleyball scene. Newton Falls, Jackson Milton gets the win over them, 3-1 the final score there. Badger beats Matthews in straight sets 3-0. We have Rootstown beating Waterloo 3-0, and McDonald was on there twice. So we'll just skim past them and go right to boys soccer. Middle Ridge gets a 2-1 win over Heartland Christian. LeBray falls to South Range, a big win for the Raiders, 4-3 the final score there. Columbiana, they are able to beat Brookfield on the road 4-0. Champion gets their 4th win in a row on the boys' side, as they win 2-0 over Southeast. They are also undefeated in league play, so champion still rolling in the MVAC. Warren JFK falls to Lake Center Christian, 8-1 the final score there. Lordstown falls to Badger, big win for the Braves on the road, 11-1. Campbell gets the win over Bristol, 3-1, and then Beaver Local gets the win over Brook, 10-2 the final score there. On the girls' side, we had Beaver Local. They fell to Steubenville 6-2 at home. And this game from Hubbard, look at that score, 14-1. We had a couple of big headlines for the Hubbard girls soccer team last night. Want to go over them real quick, make sure they get their shout outs. So here's what happened in the Hubbard game last night. Not only did Addie Manzo break the school record for goals in a game, but she's also going to be fourth all time in the OHSA record book for goals in a game. She was able to get 8 goals against South Range in the 14-1 win. So 8 goals for her, but it wasn't the only person for Hubbard that'll be on the OHSA record books, as Leighton Comlink enters the record books with assists, as she has the 6th most all-time in OHSA soccer history assists in a game. She had 5 of them in the matchup with South Range. So 2 players for Hubbard, both put their names in the OHSA record books, and Addie puts her name in the Hubbard record books at the top of the list for goals in a game. Congratulations to both those players on that accomplishment, as Hubbard wins 14-1. United gets the big win over Ursuline. On the girls' side, 3-1, the final score there. How about Beaver edging out Quaker Valley 3-2? Your final score over in PA. The Bobcats roll. So does Mohawk over in PA. They get the win over South Side, 4-0, the final score there. Champion girls soccer is on one heck of a roll. They have only allowed 3 goals in their last 8 games. They're on an 8-game winning streak, and they win over Badger 4-0. Mainly Dowd continues to impress. She had 2 goals on the night, and Champion is rolling like we thought they would coming into this season. Grand Valley gets the win. Sorry, I thought that was 8. Falls to Bristol 1-0. Austintown, Fitch, and Canfield getting together in AAC play, and Canfield gets the win 2-0 over Austintown Fitch. Big win for the Cardinals in AAC play. A tough one for Salem as they get edged by Mooney 2-1. A very good soccer game in Youngstown, as Mooney is able to just barely get the victory. Crestview gets the win 6-1 over Brookfield. Gerard is able to fall to Niles 4-1, but I think holding that Niles team to 4 goals the way they've been playing, pretty dang impressive. LeBray falls to Warren Harding 7-0, the final score. There we go over to Louisville, who went on the road to Uniontown Lake and worked a scoreless draw, so no score in that game the whole night. Warren JFK on the girls' side kind of avenged their boys' team, gets the win over Lake Center Christian. Final score 6-0. Good win for the JFK girls soccer squad. Lakeview all over Struthers 6-0. The final score there. Springfield able to go on the road, and they get the win 6-0 over Liberty, a big road win inside the conference for the Tigers. Scroll back over and see that Howland all over Marlington with a 8-1 win for the Tigers on that end. So back-to-back Tigers with back-to-back road wins on the scoreboard. Hoban at home able to shut out Gilmore Academy 3-0, the final score there. Poland uses 2 late goals late in the second half to win over Boardman 2-0. This game was scoreless for a long time. Boardman's defense played really well, but eventually Sofia Generalovic, who has been a superstar all year for Poland on the soccer pitch, finds her way to a goal. Ali Blinsky adds another one, and it's 2-0 Poland. They come away with the victory over their rival Boardman. Last but not least, Waterloo Girls Soccer goes on the road and takes care of Garrettsville Garfield 8-1. The final score there, Waterloo with the victory. So that does it for your scoreboard on Monday, September 16th, 2024. I'll give you one last look at it as you see volleyball here. Boys soccer and girls soccer. So that'll do it for the scoreboard recap section of the show. We're going to take a quick break here on Running Point. When we come back, we have a player profile to feature with Boardman Volleyball's Macy Kaufman. That's coming up next on Running Point, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
What sometimes I get into that Joe Dickey Electric commercial, that drum beat at the end. I'm sitting there like, and then I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't get on camera doing this, like looking like an idiot. I just did that just for you guys, just for your pleasure. Kind of unshamed myself a little bit there. Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends, top right hand corner of the screen, like always, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. We're continuing to do that today. We have a player profile for you. It is into Boardman Volleyball today. Macy Kaufman, a great player and a great hitter. You look at the way Macy Kaufman plays, and Boardman kind of uses her every part of the net. You know, we'll see her swing middle. We'll see her swing outside plenty of times. And then she's also got a pretty good right side swing as well. Don't forget about her serve. Just a very versatile player. Plays really good in the back. Excuse me. Plays really good in the back row as well. So just a very good all-around player for Boardman. And we are going to feature her player profile here on today's show. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's a great interview. It's a great conversation with one of the superstars down there in Boardman, one of the many superstars that we've been able to talk to so far this year. So here is Macy Kaufman from Boardman Volleyball. I hope you enjoy this player profile. Anthony Hartwig, we're here with another Boardman player profile on the volleyball court. Macy Kaufman joining us today. Macy, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So when we talk about this Boardman volleyball team, one of the things that I noticed right off the jump when I did your first game, when I did my first game of the season for you guys, the energy and the ability to just never give up on the floor is apparent. So I wanted you to talk about just where that comes from, you think, and what makes you guys able to just get through resiliency and adversity so well?
So I first think when we started all playing together, it was like a little rocky, I would say, like in our first game against Hoover. But eventually, like when we found our like rhythm to play together, and when we're all especially excited, if we have a good play and everything, I think that's where most of our energy comes from if everyone is up. But I would say mostly just us having like good plays, doing good things in the court, but being loud, being talkative, and like having the ability to like run our offense and everything. And I think that everyone like that has their position plays their role pretty well. So we all like it allows Ava to set anyone, and we're all very versatile. So we practice everything a lot. So I think it helps a lot when we get up on the court and everything.
I like that you use that word versatile because in the game that I did, I think you took swings from pretty much everywhere on the floor. Do you have a favorite spot? Do you have a favorite place to take swings, or do you just whenever I get the opportunity, I'm gonna put it over?
So, when I was like in seventh and eighth grade, and even a freshman, I was a middle, and then, my sophomore year I was a right side, and now I'm an outside. But I think my favorite thing probably is to swing middle, even though I really don't. I have like I think one rotation where in serve receive I'll swing middle, but I think it's my favorite just because it reminds me of when I was like younger in seventh and eighth grade. I do like running plays in there, like slides. I like running twos, ones. Um, but I mean, it's the same thing. Wherever I can swing from, I really do. I just try to get the ball over and in.
You know, you brought up Ava in your first answer, and you have a senior setter that has been there, done that. How easy does that make it to be versatile when you have someone that can spread the ball around like she does?
So easy. I can't even like tell you how easy. I mean, she can put the ball really anywhere. So out of system, especially as an outside, she has really good bump sets too. So if she really can't get their hands there, I've seen her go down on her knees and everything. So she really, even if the pass is too low, because I pass too, passing if it's too low, if it's too high, she always manages to put it in the right spot.
Yeah, I like you. Also, you gave a perfect segue because you play defense. You're in that back row sometimes, and you're putting really good passes on the ball. That's a underrated and an underappreciated point of the game. How much pride do you take in your ability to add that to your repertoire?
So being like an old middle, especially from my freshman year, it passing wasn't really like taken seriously for middles. So when I went to club season, I think I focused 90% of my time on passing and serve receiving. Um, I take a lot of pride in it. It's probably my most favorite thing. I like back row better than front row. I just think it's more exciting, I would say. Like getting a ball up, I think is better than getting a good swing. But from being a middle and not really being able to pass, even like free balls and everything, which I still think is probably like the hardest thing. I think I take a lot of pride in it just because I was never playing back row.
You heard that first. I think it might be the first former middle blocker to ever tell me that back row is her favorite part of volleyball.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When you think about being a leader this year, you know, you're an upperclassman now, you're asked of a lot more. There's a lot of new faces and young faces on the team this year with a big senior class graduating a year ago. What kind of things have you stepped into as a leader this year, and what kind of responsibilities have you taken onto yourself to try to guide this team?
I want to say being most vocal, and I would say like my other juniors do that too, just because I know two really good players on our team are leaving next year. So especially with back row and having underclassmen play with us, talking early is like the best thing to do. And then again with like versatile positions, like all of our sophomores, even freshmen, they can really swing anywhere. So just telling them spots to hit after getting a decent pass, tipping to just talking to them, being very vocal with everything. I think just like in the huddle before we go on, we like look at a team's weaknesses. Like we find out what it is, and we try to just tell them, try to guide to get us the most points instead of just swinging. We like to mix things up a lot.
Now, you don't have a lot of seniors this year, but you have important seniors and great leaders as seniors. How much have you and the juniors been kind of watching them and trying to soak in what they can teach you? So next year, when you're a senior, you can be the best senior leader you can be.
So I think I watch Ava Commons a lot because her little sister plays with us. So I think that Gianna's taking Ava's role just next year. I think she's going to be a great setter. I think the best thing about them is they're very consistent, both of them. So with Ava Commons, her sister plays with us on varsity, and she just brings consistent things. She can pass, she can swing, she can set. Again, very versatile. Nina has great ups. So I think that them just giving us a lot of confidence with our passing, and then realizing even with the bad pass, we can get a good set. Or with the bad swing, we can just get it back with a good pass. So I think just like having them teach us, like they're going to have good swings, they're going to have good digs, but so can we. So I think just letting us know that we're the same as any other team. We're going to have bad plays, we're going to have good plays. So just really being confident with everything that we do, even the next play, shaking things off. So I think that's what they bring, especially the seniors, most of the team. And hopefully when I'm a senior, just give the same thing off to the underclassmen.
Like your teammates who I've already talked to, you have a very high GPA. You've been putting in a lot of work in the classroom. What kind of pride do you take in that, your schoolwork and being able to get the grades that you do get?
So I think just while I'm in school, I try to focus on all my stuff in school. I try to get everything done. I try not to do as much out of school just because I know if I have a volleyball game after school, I'm going to be tired, especially I don't like to put things off a lot. So in study hall, even at the end of class, I try to do as much as possible. I really do focus in my classes. I just try to stay attentive to everything. I don't like seeing bad grades. I get nervous about tests and everything. So I would probably just say putting the work in while I'm here, and then it would make it so much easier out of school. Just completing assignments, even if you don't do the best on a test, if you do most of your assignments, homework, you should still end up with a good grade, because I don't think I'm the best test taker, but I do put in a lot of effort for everything else. So I think it makes up for everything.
All right, I don't want to give your mind like mental PTSD, but I do want to ask, since you get nervous for tests, and I'm sure you've taken a lot in Boardman, what teacher gives the hardest tests in Boardman High School?
Oh, this is so easy. Miss Moran, advanced bio. Don't think I've ever cried more in a class. I think it's just because she gives a lot of information, and then on your test, it's so limited. It's 30 points. You have no clue what you're being quizzed on. Like, you know the material, but it could be any 30 questions out of this big unit you learned. So, Miss Moran, I think, especially bio, because it wasn't my best subject. So, and it's very hard. I feel like I'm taking so many classes at once, but if you do take advanced bio, it helps for like anatomy and everything, chem. So it really just sets you up for any other class you're going to take.
Now, as good as you are at volleyball, you shine in the winter when you dive, and we will catch up to you in the winter to talk more about that. But I do want to ask about diving in the Olympics and watching it, a couple weeks ago, and having it on center stage and being a primetime sport. As a diver that's trying to, go and dive in college, what's it like every 4 years to see people really appreciate your sport for that 2 week period where it's on prime time, everyone's talking about it, people watch it? What's that like for you as a diver?
So I think it's very cool because like on like social media, I see a lot of diving things, and I see a lot of the athletes getting represented. So I think that like when everyone starts talking about it, and even if you go to a meet, it's very cool just to watch diving. It's a short time. It's probably on an average home meet, it's about 15, 20-ish minutes. And you just see like a lot of different difficulty, I would say. And just I think the part about volleyball and diving, it's very different. Diving's very mental, it's very quiet, you have to be focused. So I think volleyball is very just go, go, go. But I like that everyone is starting to talk about it. I've gotten asked a couple questions. Oh, like, have you seen this? Who are you most excited to watch? But I think that when people see diving and they realize, oh, it's not just like a little boring high school sport on like the 1 meter. Like in college, you'll be doing different. You'll be doing 3 meter, 5 meter, 7 meter, 10 meter. So I think it's very cool to watch. And I don't think people realize how high the platforms are. They're very scary. They hurt even jumping into. But I think it's very cool that everyone gets to talk about it for about like a 2-week period. But I think it just makes a lot more people want to come to the meets and everything.
During volleyball season and as a volleyball player, what do you think being a diver helps you the most with? Like, what part of diving gives you the most edge as a volleyball player?
I probably would say mental because obviously if you have a bad dive, you have to go back up and do another one in the next 5 minutes. So I think that being relaxed, especially I think about the same way on like serve receive, being very relaxed, kind of giving yourself confidence that, oh, like let's say I'm gonna nail this dive or I'm gonna pass the next ball. Um, Being very excited, being very nervous, I would say. But I think just the mental part, like being relaxed, being calm, like again when we would play games and go to 5 sets we would be very like nervous, but in our mind we're like, oh, we have to get this next ball, we can't let any points drop because at the end of the day we've been going like 5 sets, like 23-25. It's been very close for every other team. So I think just being relaxed, being calm, knowing like we got this. But same thing for dive. Before you go up on the diving board, it's really just, oh, I got this. Let me relax. You actually use like the essential oils you'll smell just to relax yourself before dive. But I mean, just like the mental part helps a lot.
Who were some of your athletic role models growing up that you wanted to mold your game after?
So I would probably say in volleyball, I don't know. I liked Florida a lot. Probably Alexis Stuckey, even though I'm not a setter. I cannot set at all. Um, Probably Charity Looper from Louisville. I like her a lot. I like watching her. Um, and then diving wise, I would probably say Sarah Bacon, Cassidy Cook, just because they're synchro. They've both been through a lot of injuries. Um, but obviously, after the injuries, they still came back, did really good in the Olympics. So probably just just the athletes I feel like that had kind of gotten hurt over the past few years, even Alexis Stuckey with volleyball in Florida. But just, like you have to realize you're going to gain your strength back and you're going to be able to play.
Now let's transition into life role models, people in your life that you think, are always there when you need something and that you look up to in your real life.
I would probably say the biggest one would be my mom. She's given me everything, even with volleyball and diving. She has supported me anything I wanted to do with volleyball and diving, club tournaments. She's been to all my games. Diving, especially since you travel farther for them, you'll actually go like to colleges to compete. But she's been there. She's done everything. She's gone to the hotels, even for club. She sat through 12-hour days of club. She's been to every single game. Anywhere that I would want her to be, she would be too.
And then we'll expand on that because our last question for you, and in the way we end all of our player profiles, is giving you the chance to take the limelight off yourself and shine it on your support system and the people that have always been there for you, the people that you wouldn't be where you are without. So I want to give you the time to do that and to give out your flowers a little bit.
So probably, again, the biggest one would be my mom. She's just, again, done everything for me. But besides my mom, and already like elaborating on her, probably my brothers, again, a really big support system with them. They've just supported me, and I think they've supported with my mom going places. They've been to a few of my volleyball games, not all of them, but also they're a freshman in college, so it's not their biggest thing to go to their little sister's volleyball game, but they have been. Sitting with my mom, my two best friends, Natalie and Berkeley, they've sat with her at almost every game this year. So they'll just come to my games, watch me. They'll stay the whole time. I think just having people like that come to your games, even once in a while, it's really like refreshing seeing people that you've known, and sitting with my mom especially because she usually sits alone, but my brothers are there, my best friends are there. So I think it's really nice just seeing them while I'm playing my game. It makes me more relaxed. It's like, oh, my mom has someone to talk to actually. But yeah, they've always supported me too with when I talk about volleyball, talk about diving. I've known they've been to my dive meets. Again, my mom been to all of them. But yeah, they've been to a few dive meets too, and I would say it's more boring, I would say. But they've been there. So have my brothers. My brother's been to most of my dive meets. So I think the people that just continuously show up for me and that support me throughout it. Because my mom really, she realizes it's like high school, it's my own decision. to do what sports I would want to do. But she has no problem in me taking breaks. Like, I have ankle injuries, I have a knee injury, but she realizes like there has to be days off. I don't have to put myself through that much work as of right now. But she understands like being in school, being in sports, obviously like working too. It's a lot to handle. So like some days I'll take off. Like at the end of school I have off days. But yeah, I think just her, my brothers, my best friends, I think they just mean a lot to me with volleyball and sports and everything since it is a big part of my life.
Maisie, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talking about your season, and we appreciate the time. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the year, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
What a conversation that was indeed. I told you before we played it, it's a good conversation. That was a great interview. One of the best I think that I've done so far this year. We've done a lot of them. They're all great, but that one was really fun. Maisie Kaufman, great player, great person, great conversation. You can find her at Boardman Volleyball. They are in action tomorrow, I believe at Cardinal Mooney. That one going to be a fun one. And also, you can find that interview if you missed it and you want to see it in its entirety. It can be found on YSN Live's YouTube page. Head over to that, or our website, of course. It will also be found there. You'll when you go to the website, you can read the article too. That's a big bonus. The article that goes along with it. The YouTube video will be after the text on the bottom of the article. YouTube video. Go there. Make sure to check that out. If you're on our YouTube channel, make sure to give us a like, comments, subscriptions, all that fun stuff, because when you do that, it helps YouTube algorithm tell other people, hey, people like these videos. People are watching them. So then they pop up on the algorithm, and then it helps us, and then we can help you more. We don't post so much stuff on that YouTube page. So make sure if you are subscribed, you also hit the notification bell, because you don't want to miss any of it. We have player profiles, coaches' corners, post-game interviews, game highlights, full games, much more, all going up on our YouTube page. I am not kidding when I say the videos go up on there daily at a high rate. We have just put, I believe, like 6 or 7 up there already today, and it's not even 2 o'clock yet. So when I'm telling you that videos go up there rapidly, and you will miss stuff if you do not have the bell clicked on our channel, I am not kidding. The YouTube algorithm will never pop all those up on you, even if you're subscribed. So if you never want to miss any of the moments that we have on YSN, make sure to hit the notification bell. How about the algorithm, right? What we're going to do now towards the end of the show, like we do every day, is we're going to dive back into the scoreboard, flip it from last night to tonight, and see what's going on across the YSN family on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Let's go to September 17th right here, which is exactly 1, 2, 3 months away from my birthday. Not counting the days anymore. I'm too old for that. I'm kind of trying to save it off. But, if anyone was interested. Volleyball tonight, we have Jefferson hosting Conneaut. Madison goes to Lakeside. Marlington and West Branch. That's a big EBC matchup for those two. West Branch is on a big winning streak. They're going to try to carry it into this home matchup with the Dukes, who got them the first time they played in Marlington. Perry goes to Orange tonight. We have Brooke going to Beaver Local. Harrison Central travels to Edison. Fitch will go to Warren Harding. Bloomfield travels to Grand Valley. We have Brookfield going to Champion. Cam will go into Waterloo. We have Central Valley going to Beaver. Cheney going to East tonight in the Steel Valley Conference. Crestview will travel to Liberty to continue league play. That's going to be their second round of league play. They just finished up the first round on Thursday when they were at the LeBray. This one's a big one because the winner of this game is going to have the chance, at least the opportunity, to chase down Crestview the second half of the season, but you got to win this game to do it. Loser of this game going to be in a big hole when you think about the way Crestview's playing. There's no way Crestview's going to lose twice in this conference. So if you lose this game, you drop down to 2 losses, or I should say, If LeBray loses this game, they drop down to 3. So Garfield can't really afford to lose this game. They're trying to keep pace with Crestview, so that second matchup would be a de facto MVAC championship. LeBray trying to spoil that and have that sneaky chance where Garfield would have to beat them for them to have a chance at Crestview. But a big matchup in the MVAC regardless. Two very good volleyball teams, very evenly matched. That should be a fun one in LeBray. Gerard will be going to Struthers tonight. Howland going to Boardman. So Boardman does have a matchup before they go to Mooney tomorrow. So Boardman will be in action tonight at home. Jackson Milton will be traveling to Springfield. We have Heartland Christian, hosting Lindsley out of West Virginia. Lisbon travels to Columbiana in EOAC play. We have Badger hosting Lordstown. That was a soccer matchup last night, volleyball matchup tonight. Lowville will be traveling to Sebring. McDonald heads to Middle Ridge. Newton Falls goes to Southeast. Poland goes to Niles. We have Pymatuning Valley going to Windham. South Range traveling to Hubbard. United goes to Latonia tonight. Valley Christian will travel to East Palestine. Wellsville travels to Southern. East Liverpool will go to St. Clairsville. Edgewood travels to Geneva. We have Salem going to Minerva tonight. St. John will be traveling to Maplewood. Ursuline going to be on the road at Canton Central Catholic. And last but not least, Mohawk will be on the road at Shenango tonight for volleyball. Boys soccer, we saw a heavier girls slate last night, now a heavier boys slate tonight, as Jefferson will go to Pymatuning Valley. United goes and is going to host Ursuline. South Range boys are going to be hosting Niles tonight. They had a big win last night. They're going to try to make it another one tonight in the conference. Hoban will be hosting Worcester. We have Perry traveling to Edgewood. Lakeview going to Girard. Beaver Local traveling to Harrison Central. Orange will hit the road to Lutheran West. Matthews hosting Grand Valley. Cardinal Mooney will be hosting Canton Central Catholic. Carrollton goes to Salem. West Branch travels to Alliance. Canfield and Fitch playing each other in boys soccer at Austintown Fitch. Harding will be at Howland. Poland goes to Hubbard. And Boardman goes to St. Vincent St. Mary. We have matchups in girls soccer, 5 of them going on tonight. Jefferson traveling to Pymatuning Valley. Perry going to Edgewood. Lakeside going to Madison. East Liverpool going to Edison. And then lastly but not least, Conneaut will be going to Geneva. So now let's go up and get your broadcast schedule for tonight. What announcers will be where? And today we will have 4 of 5 volleyball games on the network. Lisbon and Columbiana will be covered by Joe Eusebio. Ty Bartell making the trip to Middle Ridge for their matchup with McDonald, so he'll have the Blue Devils 2 days in a row. I will be in Hubbard for South Range, trying to get revenge on the Eagles for their first win earlier in the season at South Range. Girard will go to Struthers tonight. Matthew McConaughey will have that call. Perry and Orange will be covered by the school, so you'll be able to find Orange volleyball on the network as well tonight. As well as, last but not least, Penn State Shenango at Westminster will be simulcast on YSN, so make sure to tune into that volleyball matchup as well. Boys soccer, we have Perry versus Edgewood tonight. That'll be covered by the school. Matt Marr is going to be in Girard for Lakeview and Girard boys soccer as well. We have field hockey from Orange on the network tonight at 5 o'clock. The school broadcast crew will have you covered there too. So we have a little bit of everything, a lot of broadcasts tonight. Don't forget, we also have the South Range live show from Giangelo's. We have the Tigers Table show with Springfield. We have the Golden Dawn show with Ursuline and the Bulldogs show with Poland. DJ Oakley will be at Giangelo's for the South Range show. Steve Leslie and Noah Doty are going to be at the Springfield show at the Tigers Table. Tim Corso has you covered for the Ursuline show at the Golden Dawn. And Matt Romeo has you covered for the Bulldogs show at for the Poland show at the Bulldogs. So make sure to take care of all those and make sure to go to all those, have some fun, have some good food at all those establishments, and also keep an eye out on all the profiles and coaches' corners that will be coming out of that as well. So we have live games in the network tonight. We have live shows going on across the area tonight as well. A lot going down on YSN on a busy Tuesday. We thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow. Scotty Mincher, as always, on a Wednesday will be my sidecar. We'll talk about anything and everything that is on Scotty's mind. So make sure to tune into that 1 to 2. And as always, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Thank you again for tuning in today. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you